Can I have your attention? So here, I'm going to start with number 1A. So we have got sine. The question says evaluate without using calculator. Not supposed to use a calculator. So that's sine 40 degrees times cos 40 degrees all over sine 100 degrees. All right. Okay. Are you following that? Now I'm not supposed to use a calculator. Okay. Now if you look at the numerator, it's a product of sine and cos, and the angle is the same. Okay. But we don't have a 2 in front. We don't have a 2 here. So in order for us to be able to carry on without using a calculator, we have to use a mathematical manipulation whereby I will say, since I know that I've got a double angle for sine, which is sine 2 theta is 2 sine theta cos theta, but I'm not given, for this question, the 2 is not there, right? If the 2 is not there, it means the right-hand side is divided by 2, and the left-hand side was also divided by 2. Right? So what I mean is sine 2 theta is equal to 2 sine theta times cos theta. If I divide both sides by 2, okay, like this, these two cancel, so I'll end up having a half times sine 2 theta is equal to sine theta cosine of theta. Okay? So I'm going to use that now. So this sine 40 degrees times cos 40 degrees, I can write it using a double angle as half sine of y. Now, check this, it's 2 theta, so it will be 2 times 40, which becomes 2 times 40 degrees, like that. And all this is dividing sine 100. Now, sine of 100 is the same as sine 80 degrees. From your knowledge of reduction formula, remember you have to reduce all angles that are not acute to acute angles. Then this becomes a half times sine 80 degrees all over sine 80 degrees. Following that, and then this sine 80 and that sine 80 cancel. So our final answer is going to be a half. Okay? I'm doing it without a calculator, but you can test it with your calculator. Check out your calculator, put sine 40 times cos 40. You're all supposed to have your calculators in front of you. Verify that my answer is correct by using a calculator. Very correct. Okay. Correct. Alright. I hope you saw what I did here. You saw what I did here. But that's very important. Okay. So that's number one. Unfortunately, I can't do every question. Right? So I've done one with a fraction. Okay. We can also do B. Right, let's do B. Because I know that the ones with fractions, they look scary, but some of them are so easy. So we have cos squared 22.5 degrees plus sine squared 22.5 degrees all over cos squared 22.5 degrees minus sine squared 22.5 degrees. Right? Who can tell me the answer for the numerator? So 1. Thank you. And then the denominator, you see that it's cos squared 22.5 degrees minus sine squared 22.5 degrees. So it's exactly like number 1 for cosine, which means this 22.5 is like the theta. If I take it to the left, I will multiply by what? By 2. So this becomes cosine of 2 times 22.5 degrees. No calculator, okay? This becomes 1 over cosine of 45 degrees. Now, 1 over cosine of 45, I know that cos 45 is equal to 1 over square root of 2. Okay? Are you following that? Then this becomes 1 divided by 1 divided by 1 over square root of 2. Then this division, I'm going to convert it to multiplication. If I do that, I'll end up getting 1 over 1 times square root of 2 over 1, which means the final answer will be square root of 2. And some of you are not even paying attention.
You have to show that last bit.
What?
You have to show the last bit where you divide and the sign.
Yes, because remember, I'm not using a calculator. So we have to show everything. Alright, let me choose another one. So, okay, I'll do H as well. Let me see. Let me do G, 1G. I hope you're following what I'm doing. I'm not using a calculator. Like 1G is tan 135 plus 2 cos squared 15 degrees. So I'm moving on to the next page. Right? Tan 135 plus 2 cos squared 15 degrees. So tan 135 plus 2 cos squared 15 degrees. Okay? Now we can't touch the 2 cos squared 15 degrees. We have to simplify the tan 135. But I can also touch it. Okay, but for now, let me convert this angle to an acute angle. Okay? So it becomes minus tan 45 degrees plus, okay, I'll put an equal sign there. That's equal to 2 cos squared 15 degrees. Okay, I'm not using a calculator, don't forget that. So I'm supposed to use special angles. Fortunately, this tan 45 here is equal to 1, but because there's a minus 1 in front here, it will become a negative 1. So minus tan 45 is negative 1. I need to simplify this 2 cos squared 15 degrees using special angles. Okay, so to do that, I have to do it this way. No calculator used. Okay, no calculator used. So my next step is to say minus tan 45 degrees. I'm going to put the 1 later plus 2. Now I'm going to split that 15 degrees, okay, and write it as cos 45 degrees minus 30 degrees. Then whatever answer I get here, I have to square that. Okay? So I have to use compound angles. Okay? I have to use compound angles. So this becomes minus tan 45 degrees plus 2. Now let me simplify what's inside the bracket. Okay? If I use my compound angles, remember your compound angles, I hope you have been practicing. I hope you have been practicing. Okay? So this becomes 2 times cos 45 degrees times cos 30. There's a minus here, so I'll put a plus, sine 45 degrees times sine 30 degrees. Then I close the bracket. Whatever answer I get inside the square bracket, I have to square that out. Okay? Then I need to Let me simplify now. Minus tan 45 is minus 1 plus 2 times cos 45 is 1 over root 2 times cos 30, that's root 3 over 2, right, plus sine 45 is 1 over root 2 times sine 30 is a half. Whatever answer I get inside the square bracket, I have to square the answer. It's quite long, okay? So this becomes minus 1 plus 2, open bracket. I'm going to simplify now. I'll get root 3 over 2 root 2 plus 1 over 2 root 2 all squared. Okay? Now, I can distribute these two. Okay? Let me distribute these two. Oh, no, I can't because there is a square there. Please, you can't distribute the two because there's a square there. So you have to start by squaring first. Okay? But fortunately, inside here I've got like terms. The denominator is the same. So I can say root 3 plus 1 all over 2 root 2. That's my next step. Okay? So my next step, let me do it on the next page. So I'm going to have equal to minus 1 plus 2 open square bracket. So that will be square root of 3 minus 1 all over 2 root 2 all squared. Then allow me to remove, to square everything inside. That square then means the numerator must be squared, the denominator must be squared. Yes?
1 minus it's a plus.
Or, okay. Alright, thank you for that. It's a good sign that you are following. So this becomes minus 1 plus 2. Now, this 2 here, it means we have to square the binomial numerator and square the denominator. So I can write that as, put my square bracket, square root of 3 plus 1 times square root of 3 plus 1 all over. Now if I distribute that 2 squared will give me a 4, root 2 times root 2 give me a 2. So I can write that as 2 squared times square root of 2 all squared, like that. No calculator. Alright? Then this becomes minus 1 plus 2. Now let me remove the brackets in the numerator. Root 2 times root 3 times root 3 give me a 3. Root 3 plus 1 give me a root 3. 1 times root 3 gives me a root 3. 1 times 1 gives me a 1. Then my denominator 2 squared is a 4, right? Square root of 2 all squared is going to give me a 2, so I'll end up getting an 8 there. Okay? Then let's simplify that. Right? So 3 plus 1 gives me a 4 root. 3 plus root 3 gives me 2 root 3. So I'll end up with minus 1 plus 2 open bracket. That will be 2 root 3 plus 4 all over 8. Okay? Let me distribute the 2 now to remove the bracket. So I'm going to distribute that. Okay? So if I distribute it, I'll get minus 1 plus 4 root 3. Right? Just allow me to split this, the numerator and the denominator, over the same denominator. Okay? So I'm just multiplying these two by what the numerators, but I'll write each individually under the same denominator. Okay, so 4 root 3 over 8, okay, plus 8 over 8. Are you following that? It's coming out very nicely. Then, fortunately, 8 over 8 is equal to what? 1. So I'll end up having minus 1 plus. Then here I can simplify here. There is a common factor which is a what? A 4. So here, I hope you are looking. 4 into 4 is 1, 4 into 8 is a what? A 2. Right? Then, so I'm going to end up having root 3 over 2 plus 1. This will be equal to, fortunately, this minus 1 and that positive 1 cancel. So the final answer will be square root of 3 over 2. Okay, now test my answer using a calculator. You go back to the original question. You must know how to put it in the calculator, by the way. So the original question is this. So if you want to put it in the calculator, you put it like this: tan 135 degrees plus 2 times cos 15 degrees all squared, like that. Can you put it in the calculator? Getting the same answer that I got back. Thank you.
So how many was this?
This is a very long question. It could be maybe 7 marks, maybe, but at least 5 marks. Yeah. At least 5 marks. Because remember, we are doing it without using a calculator, so you have to show more working out. Okay, yeah. Like the bell is supposed to ring. Right. So what I'm gonna do is I'll stop here. I'll give you homework on this exercise. Okay?